Assalamu alaikum, sisters, and welcome back to another episode of Hold My Heart podcast, a show brought to you by After Maghrib. Thank you so much for tuning in again. At the moment, you are watching episode 4, where we're going to talk about uni. What are the struggles as a hijabi living in the West in the education system? Inshallah, we'll get into it. If you haven't already, tune into our other episodes where we've discussed different kind of topics that might resonate with you as a woman living in the West, inshallah. Before we get into it, my name is Brother Fatima, your co-host, and I'd love to introduce my co-host, Sisters Zohra. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm better now, but I was a bit ill past 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's been the shift in the London weather, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know, it's rubbish, but yeah. So
Alhamdulillah.
What have you been up to?
Honestly, not much. It's quite ironic we're talking about uni, because I'm still in uni at the moment, doing my masters. So it's like that season where the academic year has started and everyone's kind of adjusting, going back into routine. So I've been in and out of uni. And all of that kind of stuff. So I am excited for this topic that we're going to talk about, and that is uni struggles as a hijabi, fitting in, friendships, all of that. And we have an amazing guest. I've known her personally for a few years, and I would love to introduce her. So guys, we're joined with Sister Duha. Assalamu alaikum, Duha.
Alaikum assalam, Rida Zohra. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah, we're good. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. How does it feel being on set?
It's good, alhamdulillah. A little bit scary, but it'll go well, inshallah.
Inshallah. So the viewers at the moment might not know exactly what you do. I think it might be a good place to start. What do you study? What do you do? What is kind of your passion? You also make some really cool Instagram, TikTok stuff, right? Let's get into that first before we jump into the episode.
Sure, no worries. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Duha, and I'm in my last year of studying computer science at Middlesex University, and I do really fun content creation and like videos on TikTok and Instagram, really based around like uni and like helping the youth, specifically women, get into like tech spaces. So I do like cute videos like rating study spots and libraries in London, and also like tech tips and all of that.
So you're an influencer, basically. We're joined by an influencer today.
But I would say content creator.
Very nice.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos, and it's really cute, like rating libraries, study spots. So inshallah, you will have lots of advice to give to the girls today.
Inshallah.
Where were you when I was in uni? We didn't have that.
I had that comment a lot, actually. Funny enough, I did. Like a lot of people that graduated, even people that were in their like 30s and 40s, were literally like, where were you when I was in uni? Like, I didn't know we had this kind of spots. Alhamdulillah, my recent TikTok video actually got like around 56k views as well. So alhamdulillah, I reached the audience that I wanted.
Definitely an influencer.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
I try.
Well, today we are talking about uni, but just to like get comfortable, I want to do a little icebreaker with her. As the academic season is beginning, it's hard to kind of find a routine, right? So give us one Quran, ayah, surah, or a dua line that has been really resonating with you and helping you get through this kind of period of starting again.
Yeah. So I would say like one Quranic verse that really like touches my heart and like stays with me like throughout the whole academic process, you know, every time that I'm like studying in uni and, you know, I kind of feel a bit lost and I feel like, oh my God, I have so much work to do, is really like ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب, like for the remembrance of Allah the hearts find ease. And it's honestly like the best quote that I can like I remember on a daily as well. Whenever I find struggle, you know, just remember Allah and, you know, it puts my heart at ease and just get on with my day. Alhamdulillah.
Beautiful. And I think that's a beautiful way to start this episode when we're talking about uni. That when you talk about the stress that uni might bring, even the season of like getting back into studying, you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you.
The anxiety
way
that comes along.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's a beautiful start to the episode, inshallah.
Yeah.
I want to open it up to just uni life in general and kind of how it is for us as hijabis, as Muslim women, like very apparently getting into this education system. What has been what is your best part about being in uni, but also what has been maybe the most challenging part for you? Let's start there.
Yeah, so I would say like the my most favorite part about being in uni is actually like my friends. I have like a group of friends, and funny enough, like 9 out of 10 of them are all hijabis as well. So I'm blessed with that, alhamdulillah, sort of hanging around with them, like around campus, attending different society and club events. Like we have arts and craft events at my unis, which makes it quite fun. So you kind of get that uni life. As well as like, we always help each other with like our studies and our education and everything. So alhamdulillah, friends can make or break your uni experience. But I would say one difficult thing about uni was sort of like settling in. It definitely was really difficult for me because I do a degree in computer science. So it's a very male dominated field. So obviously being a woman, specifically a hijabi woman, that space is very is very tight for us as well. So sort of like coming into uni, I was like very shy, I was very quiet. So one thing that was definitely difficult for me was kind of like finding my own space. And I heard of this like kind of quote that was like, if you can't find a seat at a table, kind of make your own table. So it was kind of like that kind of aspect as well of like getting settled in and finding my own space.
I think also we like resonate a lot with the male dominated field. So I studied law, but I'm doing a master's in law right now, and I feel like it's natural a lot for us girls to be studying but like surrounded by a lot of men, and feeling that pressure of like, even if you're working, for example, of like you are in a
Male dominated field.
Yeah.
I went to city. I didn't feel like I was in a male dominated area, but I do definitely, because my uni, like in terms of like first year we had like 300 students, and it was mixed, like girls, boys, like older people, younger people, mature students, and the whole thing. But I do resonate with the fact that you said you were very shy. Oh my God, I was very shy growing up as well. And I wouldn't say shy, it's just I was very quiet. I couldn't like say what I wanted to say because
Express
like,
yourself. Yeah.
oh yeah, people are watching me. Yeah, so but I do get that, and yeah, but I don't know how you dealt with it, but I had my own ways.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So it was definitely difficult kind of navigating that space and dealing with it. Obviously, like I mentioned, like I was extremely shy. I came from a girls only school as well, and my college was very, very small. So it's like kind of going into uni, it was like this big new place that like you see in the movies, like going into like in America they have like the junior high or something, and like they feel lost. That's kind of how I was feeling as well. But
how did you deal with it? The shyness and coming out of your shell in order to, because like you said, if it's a male dominated field, you do not want to be spoken over or like not given a chance because of, like,
I think it's probably a struggle like a lot of Muslim girls in general just deal with. I guess shyness and confidence. And you could say obviously that's another big struggle that a lot of girls go through. But you are like in your third year, mashallah, like you've really kind of, it seems like you figured out exactly what you want to do.
Alhamdulillah.
So
Alhamdulillah.
how has that been an experience for you throughout your 3 years of uni? Now you're in your final year.
Yeah, so actually previously I mentioned that what made my uni life so much better is my friends, and I have a diverse like friendship group, and like they're from different cultures as well, which I love. But actually throughout, because my degree is 4 years, so I did it with a foundation year as well. So from the first year and a half, I actually had no friends, funny enough, just because obviously it was like a male dominated field, and I was very shy and I was very quiet, and I sort of like, obviously as a female hijabi, you kind of can't, there's a certain like boundary to deal with men as well, obviously in the professional environment.
Of course.
So I kind of kept to myself those years, and did my own studies and all of that. It did actually feel very lonely. But I know you mentioned, Sister Zohra, that speaking out and all of that, and you were quiet and shy growing up as well. So I would say definitely like I just had to really step out of my comfort zone and really make myself uncomfortable, even though I didn't want to. Like, nobody really wants to be uncomfortable. No one wants to be out of their comfort zone. But in order to grow, you do need to step out of your comfort zone. And that helps me a lot in terms of like expressing my own opinion and, you know, like saying, for example, like the guys in my course would actually come to me and be like, okay, do my coursework for me. And I would be like, you know, at the beginning, I would be like, I can help you, but I won't do it for you, because of course I knew that I'm in university, this is serious. If I did actually do their coursework, like, not only they would get the fault for plagiarism, but so would I. And plagiarism is taken very seriously in my uni, and of course in other unis I would imagine too. So I then had to step up and find the courage to say, no, I can't do that for you. If you want, I can provide you with a little bit of help. I can provide you with the email address of the professor, and you can ask him or her, and they can provide you with the help. So it was kind of like little things like that where I had to build up the courage to say no. And the more I had to create boundaries, like, for example, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't shake your hand. You know, you obviously put your hand on your chest, like that as a hijabi woman in itself is a bit awkward and difficult, but it just has to be done in order for, you know, like the guys around you to learn as well. We live in the West. So a lot of them, yes, Muslims, you know, like everyone knows Islam is a, you know, religion, and like women can't shake hands with men, but people nowadays, like, that don't know that still exist. So it's just about like, making them aware. It is very awkward, of course. It is very awkward, but it's just that, you know, initial, like you said, building it up step by step, like that initial no, or like, I'm sorry, like I can't shake hands.
Like, it'll be daunting at first.
100%.
And I feel like anytime you are trying to step out of your comfort zone, it will always be like scary. Like, I remember like when I was entering my first year, and you, like, you know, when you go into the lecture halls and they're massive, and like, who do I sit with? And but now, like, you can just go in and it's fine if you sit by yourself. It's okay. Like, I think it's just that, like,
it's okay to be a loner. Honestly, I've realized literally uni, when you first go into uni, you want to have friends and you want to like sit with someone so you don't look like a loner. Now I don't care. I'll sit by myself and I'll enjoy it. Like, it's much better that way. But do you have any tips, as in like what you did personally, like practical tips to come? I don't think you were shy. Were you shy when you were in uni?
Not
like,
really.
Still in uni, but you weren't.
Not
like,
that
I feel
much.
like you're very eloquent and just like very expressive. Mashallah, yeah. Like, but would you have any practical tips? And then I could tell you mine, like, because I was shy.
I think obviously everyone's experience is going to be different. I would say, obviously, like, if you start off shy, eventually you'll just be pushed, like Duha said, like pushed into circumstances that will help you develop it. Like, obviously, even if someone comes across as they're confident, inside they're really not. Like, so for example, you're like, you were definitely not shy, but like that's because maybe I don't show it, but then inside, like, oh my god, your heart could be beating like 100 times.
It's definitely like a case of fake it till you make it.
That's it.
Like,
fake it till you make it. Like I would be standing, maybe doing like public speaking, whatever. I am sweating inside, but you just get up there
shaking.
But you know what you have to do at the end of the day. So I think it's just becomes like, okay, this is my duty. And also it's more like, just remember that we are also very privileged to be in these kind of positions, doing education, even this podcast. So sometimes if you have that, oh, okay, let me just get on with it. Eventually, like Duha said, it kind of pushes you into this, I don't really have any other choice. I'm going to.
I think that's the thing. For me, I think it got really bad. I was in first year uni. I went through first year and I was like, I can stay like this and stuff like that. But at that point, I really did want to become like a solicitor or something. I wanted to continue education, but now I'm in a whole different place. But yeah, when I went in there, I was like, I got so uncomfortable to the point where I was like, I can't continue like this. Otherwise, I'm not going to make it like to what I want, to my goal. 100%. I was like, so it's that uncomfortableness that led me to get out. Otherwise, I was so happy in my comfort zone. But when I realized that I'm not going to get far, if I can't even stand it, because I was thinking maybe 5-6 years ahead.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna stand there in the like court, and I can't even get my words out to the judge, and my client is doomed. My client's doomed. You're going to jail, mate. So no, as in like, so what I did to be like completely like get out of my comfort zone, I started working with kids. I was already working in tuition centers, but I picked that up in uni as well. But then I also started doing public speaking. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Okay.
yeah, so I was just like, I did public speaking for the time that I was in university, and I would go to, I was an ambassador for university. So you know how
I
like
do that too.
yeah, so ambassador work. So they hire you, and then they go and tell you to do open evenings. You can do go and give speeches to different sixth forms. That you do taster courses, etc. So I thought, let me do this. I don't know these people. They don't know me. Are they going to see me again? Probably not. Are they going to remember me? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I went in, I would like, and I would tell them, I'm like, look, guys, I'm very nervous. And I know you guys are a lot younger than me, but I'm very nervous. So please do forgive me if I stutter or I jitter, but I'm just practicing. And I would do it, alhamdulillah. That really helped me a lot.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
And now I just like, I can go anywhere. Like a lot of people, it got to a point where now people don't believe me when I tell them I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you're not.
I think I relate to that a lot as well. Well, I wouldn't really say I'm an introvert. I would say I'm an ambivert. So that kind of like depends on depends on the person you're speaking to and depends on their energy. So for example, if I'm with like introverts, I kind of blend in with their energy.
Okay.
And then if I'm with like extroverts, I kind of blend in with them as well. If that makes sense.
So a bit of
so kind of I bounce off people's energies off each other. But of course I do also have my own personality. But mentioning also, I know I spoke about like building confidence, you know, bit by bit. But one thing that also really built my confidence is linking to what you said about being like a student ambassador. So I'm actually a student and a digital ambassador for Middlesex. So I also take part in open evenings, you know, like graduations, all of that. So I speak to anyone that come to the university, you know, also like go and give talks to like the younger children, even if it's like I recently gave hosted a taster session for a bunch of kids from sixth form, and it was about like science electrolysis, and I was like, guys, I do tech, like I sit and the computer's in front of me, I have no idea what you guys are doing, but I kind of like, you know, led them throughout the day and kind of like built up upon that. And about digital ambassador as well, so I kind of do like promos for like Middlesex, so I'm on their like open day video, you know, for the clearing as well, because I applied through clearing to get to my university as well. So no way. Yeah, so we have that in common. And I also did resale jobs as well, part-time. So I started off from Primark, and then I went on to Shoe, and then I went on to Apple, and I recently left Apple in January as well, just to focus on my studies, because third year computer science is very, very intense.
So mashallah, you've done quite a bit, and you've dabbled, I'd say, in different areas. Like you're very versatile in what you want to do. But going back to, I think you mentioned something about having a good like company around you that helped you build confidence. Even like these kind of different skills that we're doing, I feel like the most integral part of uni, and that common theme that we keep talking about, is friendships and relationships that you form, because obviously I feel like without those it's difficult to maybe go into different roles that you want to do, because then again
100%.
You don't have that right company around you. So what has been your kind of experience with friendships? There might be a lot of viewers listening who maybe haven't found the right kind of company. They've been around parties, maybe drugs, alcohol, just situations that they're uncomfortable. And maybe you're there and you don't feel like you fit in. You're just like, I'm this hijabi in this like this environment. How do I even navigate that? All those feelings.
For sure. I mean, like uni life, for anyone who is going into uni or is already into uni, we know that the uni life that the West talks about is about partying, is surrounded by alcohol, you know, free mixing and music. Obviously, as Muslims, specifically female hijabis, we don't associate with that, you know, it doesn't align with our values at all. So going in actually with my uni, they're quite open to various cultures and various, you know, like they accept your values, which I found like amazing, because They kind of like, I don't know how the word to describe it, but they have like a lot of different, like a variety of like clubs and societies that you can take part in. So for example, like if there was like, what's really popular at my university is actually the Bollywood society. So obviously that has music and all of that, so I wouldn't be able to participate in that. But instead, for example, there is like arts and crafts, or there are like various other societies which I can take part in and then make friends there. So linking back to the first couple years of uni where I actually had no friends, what kind of pushed me is that to like kind of be out my comfort zone and to be better is what, linking to what you said about, you know, if you want to be better, if you want to be a solicitor, you have to speak out and, you know, get out of your comfort zone. So growing up, I was very, very ambitious. I grew up very shy, very quiet, you know, like people spoke over me. I kind of let them speak over me, actually. So it wasn't technically their fault. I've always had a dream to kind of be this like star, this great person. You know, I want to be the best in everything, the best in tech. I want to go, hopefully, inshallah, get a role in software engineering. So I want to be this best software engineer, you know, on TikTok, Instagram. I want to be the best content creator. I wouldn't say influencer per se. So kind of that dream like fueled me every day. And even when I didn't have a support system at that time, I kind of had that dream to kind of guide the way. As of course, Allah first and foremost as well, asking help from Allah. You know, that's where I find my strength from. And He always guides me.
But even like going back to the thing that you said about not having that support system, but like you keep going, right? But even for example, for myself, I really wanted like friends around me that were like-minded. So for example, you know, other like Shia people that I could essentially not even just be friends with, but be able to, you know, for example, go into service with and do service whilst also being in uni. And we haven't talked about this just yet, but like ABSOC, for example. And for those who don't know, who might not even be in the UK watching, but ABSOC is like the Ahlul Bayt societies, and mashallah, we're very privileged that London, the UK, is very active in ABSOCs across unis. And for me, like, I wanted to find that like-mindedness of like, okay, whilst I'm committing to uni, I'm also in like environments where we can facilitate events with like-minded individuals, right? So how has like that kind of journey been for you in finding friends? Is that something that's been positive for you so far? And like, if the viewers are watching, how can they get involved in stuff like this?
So before I answer your question, just a quick thing is I like in university I didn't have like a support system like a year and a half, like as I mentioned. But alhamdulillah, I am very privileged to have a support system outside of university. So for example, I have like my auntie Hawra, she's like amazing in tech. So she was kind of like my role model growing up. So I always wanted to be like her, you know. And I had like a lot of people I sort of looked up to. So alongside my dream, and they kind of like were not role models, but they kind of provided examples of what I wanted to be. With regards to ABSOC, alhamdulillah, I feel like compared to other like regions I've heard about, the London specifically is very like diverse and sort of, I mean it is the most multicultural city in the world, alhamdulillah. But specifically with like Shias and the Ahlul Bayt, alhamdulillah, we have a lot of ABSOCs, and you know, it's the Ahlul Bayt society in every single uni, and they just promote the teachings and the lessons of the Ahlul Bayt, which I find really, really beautiful. So alhamdulillah, in my second year, the third year of uni, but the second year, you know, I got to be like, I kind of looked around me and I was like, hold on, in my uni there isn't an ABSOC. And I said, why? Like, you know, like something like that should be in my uni, you know, like. And then I realized, I was like, hold on, wait, if no one else, if it's not there for me, I'm like, I might as well, you know, start it for myself. And then maybe like, I never know, like the more I go on, I might find people along the way that can help me as well, which was really beautiful, alhamdulillah. So I started Middlesex ABSOC around 2 years ago. So this is second year as president, alhamdulillah. So I managed to build the committee slowly, just finding people, sort of just randomly. Like I just see them, they come to the events, or like at the freshers fair, I just find a hijabi. I'm like, do you want to be friends?
You
do you
know
want
what?
to be
I
part of the
remember as
committee?
well last year. So when we worked together, you were like, it was you and one other person on committee.
Yes.
And it was actually the ABSOC that had the least individuals.
Yeah.
But then I was like, mashallah, like.
That's how we met as well.
Exactly.
Alhamdulillah.
But it's just like the fact that you went ahead and did it anyways. I think is a lot of, can be a lesson for a lot of the girls that are watching that, like, okay, if you don't have that ABSOC or whatever it may be, like a support system, a Shia support system that you're looking for, go out and make it happen.
Yeah, you can do various things. It doesn't just have to be ABSOC. Let's say if you're scared to be, you know, in front of the cameras, if you're scared to speak out, which I think you shouldn't. Like, to the female audience, I feel like you should have enough courage to speak and, you know, have your own opinion and have your own mind, of course, within reason and within boundaries. But you can do things behind the scenes. Like in my committee as well, there's, for example, like I have a social media manager, so she kind of does behind the scenes of, you know, the content that we post on our Instagram, all of that. She also prefers to do like face-to-face roles as well, but that's a preference as well. You can choose to be behind the scenes, or you can choose to, you know, be face-to-face. And even if there's not an ABSOC, you can go out. There are so many charities in London, for example, like Who is Hussein. You can like volunteer in different projects, you know, you can like hand out water.
There's like different apps of services.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you meet so many people along the way, and so many pure individuals as well, because of course you can meet friends anywhere you go, but the important thing is meeting the right people. I'm meeting the good friends. Because, of course, in Islam, it's very known that choosing, like, the importance of choosing friends, because the right friends can lead you the right way.
And your company reflects you as
100%,
who you are. Like,
100%.
There was this saying, I think, it's like, look at your 5 friends. That's who you are.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
Like, if you, for example, like with me, I'm an ambitious person. So I make sure that my friendship group, obviously not just force them, but make sure that they're ambitious, you know, they want to go into different fields, whatever fields they want to go into. Like, I don't have friends that go into tech like me, but they're also as ambitious as I am, you know. They also love, you know, speaking out. They love volunteering. They love kind of like reaching their goals. So kind of like when I started hanging out with those kind of friends, I felt empowered in a way where I felt like, okay, those are the group that I want to hang out with. Like, they empower me, they make me feel and want to be a better person. And I feel like that's really, really important, because friends can make or break, you know, your life decisions you take in life, like your mindset, you know, your opinions,
maybe even what you do in uni.
Like they can really influence you as well. Like, for example, if you have friends that, la samhallah, like they like to, I don't know, like party or anything, and let's say you're in your final year of uni and you hang out with those type of friends, you kind of might feel that pressure to go out
100%.
and then ignore your studies, and then when it comes to grading, you kind of be regretful, and you're like, not only did I, you know, disobey my values, not only did I go against my values to please other people, but I also went against my not just Islamic values but educational values, and you know, being ambitious. So I feel like they kind of like handicap you, and they kind of like stop you from achieving your full potential.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's really important.
I just want to say, like, you're not scared of life. Life should be scared of you.
Yeah, literally.
Life is scared
That's
of
such
you.
a great saying.
So basically, I don't really relate too much to the AVSOC side of things, because I know, like, when I went AVSOC, as I walked in, like, it's just people just looking at me, and I was just like, no, I don't want to be in this environment. So I didn't go again. So I went to King's AVSOC once, and I made a really good friend, Shams, over there. And so yeah, I'm still friends with her, but yeah, so I couldn't relate too much to the dean side of things in university because of the judgment, and I don't know, it just felt weird. for me personally, I did try, but because of that discomfort, I stopped. But for me, like you said, your friends are really important, and the 5 people that you choose to be around defines who you are, whether you like it or not. You're gonna pick up good habits, you're gonna pick up bad habits, and you might not even know it. You might pick something up that you think, oh, I'm definitely not gonna pick that up, but you might pick it up over time.
Yeah.
So for me, like, in terms of friends, to be honest, I'm a happy loner. I can happily sit somewhere and be like, yeah, I don't need to make friends with anyone else. Sit somewhere, and that's fine by me. But I did make friends in university. They weren't necessarily Shia, but they were definitely like either Muslim, but we had the same like values in terms of like, I have a friend, so for example, these two come to my mind and I'm still friends with them actually. So Ebru was one. She was Alavi. So she was an Alavi. I didn't really like her at first. I was like, oh my gosh, she's too loud. She's too loud. Why is she so
That's
loud?
where the best friendships start.
She's weird.
Yes, sure.
So weird. I was just like looking at her like up and down.
Yeah.
No, but and then I don't know what happened. We were all supposed to go out, and then everyone cancelled, and then it was just me, or we did go or something, but we got on a train basically.
Yeah.
And then I started speaking to her, we started speaking, and then I realized, oh my god, we're actually we're the same people.
Yeah.
Like, I have my values and I wear the hijab and everything, so that was the point where I got really religious and everything, even though I didn't have the Shia like friends or anything. I was just like reading a lot. And she was telling me her values, and she's an Alawi, she doesn't wear hijab or anything, but she was telling me her values and her like, even though I just, to be honest, I don't know what she follows, but we were just speaking and I thought we're so similar, and from then on we've just been friends, we're best friends, and we still talk to this day.
That's great.
And there was another girl, Fatima. She was not Shia, Sunni actually, like Afghan too. Yeah. Like for me, I didn't struggle with the whole concept of like partying or going to places or being wary of like, because I personally don't like to make friends with people so quickly. Like, I want to see how they are first. And I don't know if that's hesitation or just like being careful or whatever. I don't know what it is, but so with her, I used to just go, okay, we would go study. Fatima, are you coming in today? Are you going to be in uni? Are you in uni? We did 2 different subjects. She was doing economics and stuff like that, but I was doing law. We would do our uni. I'm like, okay, so we study for 2-3 hours, and then we're gonna go get food. And then we're gonna go to a museum. Like, or different places, and we would link different people, like with different people from different uni.
That sounds great.
So my uni life, I love my friends in the sense that so I mean, you can make friends and they don't necessarily have to be Shia, but you have to be very careful what type of friends you make, because you don't want to be led astray, like, because it's really important, I think. And I don't know, like, for me that was really important. I did not want to go down the wrong path. And so even if they weren't, I don't know, Shia, I didn't really care, to be honest. I was happy with whoever, as long as like my values weren't being put into question, or I wasn't being
That's
judged.
the most important thing.
But there were like instances of like, for me, I didn't have an issue of telling people I was Shia, like, and to be honest, I was always wearing myself hard and everything, and I think you can tell. I don't know.
Very proud Shia.
Like that. And I wasn't doing it to like aggravate anyone. I was just I was just like, this is me. But there were instances of like Shia phobia here and there, where they would make like jokes about being a Shia.
I think that's actually like that anti, like, oh, she's a Shia, sometimes is the reason why most girls in uni want to find Shia friends. At least like for myself, in sixth form, if I didn't have any Shia friends or girls growing up, so when I was introduced to uni, I was like, okay, this is the perfect place to actually find people who might be like me. And a lot of girls that might be listening might actually struggle with the things that we're talking about. Like, they might be in environments where there are drugs, there are alcohols, they are under the wrong influence. Like, it's not even just like, people listening aren't just from London, not just from the UK. Like, there's people across the world listening, right? So the issue of company, finding the right friendships, is like something that we're talking about is so important.
Yeah.
Whether that you wish to find Shia friends, that's extremely important. But of course, you can find a company that might not be Shia, but be good for you as well as holding your values.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I went to, as like throughout my secondary school education, I went to all girls Islamic Shia school. So I kind of was like obviously surrounded by Shia women, and it was great. It was great. But I kind of felt like there was some kind of element missing, where in terms like I was kind of like in a bubble, and like sort of like I know a lot of people struggled and they went to college, and they, for example, if they went to like a mixed college, and they would struggle with that kind of like boundaries, which alhamdulillah was not a problem for me, because I've always held my values very close to my heart. So like if something goes against my values, that's like a boundary crossed, you know. But like you mentioned, like friends doesn't have to be Shia. Like it'll be like amazing, of course, if they do, you know, you go to like mosque there together, you pray the same way, you know. But like with me, I also, even like throughout secondary school education, I had a diverse group of friends. So I had friends like from all over the world, and like I had Christian friends, Muslim friends, you know, I had Sunni friends as well as from different sects of Islam as well. But I think that's beautiful. Like we get on so well, and even the friendship groups in my, actually funny enough, I just realized my friendship group in uni, that the girls that I made friends with in third year, they're actually, I don't think any of them are Shia.
Really?
So funny enough, they're all they're all from different kind of sects of Islam. Which I find beautiful, because we get on so well, and we all of our values are similar, and you know, they align really well together, alhamdulillah. So as long as, you know, you're in good company, as long as, you know, certain personality traits, you know, you kind of look for in friends.
So we asked you guys, what are the main struggles that you have faced in uni, and we got a few answers from you guys. Mariam said, I would feel so lonely if I didn't have Muslim friends. Saida said, lack of community. Another person said, how easy and normalized it is to talk about haram. So for example, music and dating, and listening to those convos, which is so readily available. Insha said, my Shia friends eating from mushrik, attending concerts with haram music, knowing it's haram. Absorts are mixed, not really focusing on Shiism enough, dealing with subtle Shiaphobia from friends letting jokes slide while staying a proud Shia. And then Abiha said, I struggled to make friends in uni that weren't Shiaphobic. So as you guys can see, so the common themes were maintaining hijab and social hijab, Shiaphobia, and finding it difficult to make Shia friends. So what do you think about these struggles, especially about the Shiaphobia?
So of course, because I do like content creation online, so across like multiple platforms like TikTok, you know, LinkedIn and Instagram. So of course I see like a lot of Shia hate online, unfortunately, and a lot of the comments sort of saying like, you know, different, I'm not going to mention, but a lot of different labels against Shias. I find that sometimes you do easily get carried away with the negative comments, and you sort of feel like, am I doing the wrong thing? Should I stay off social media because I'm getting these negative comments? You know, million thoughts run through your head. But then I guess you also have to think that these people that are online, they're hiding behind a screen, so they kind of feel like they can say whatever they want to say without being held accountable for anything. And because Shia Islam is a minority, so obviously we are like overruled by the majority, and you know, majority of the comments and all of that. But I feel like it's really important to also be so secure in your values and in your Shiaism as well, that you don't let any of that affect you. Like, I also get negative comments like here and there as well, you know, sort of linking to like, you know, like, oh, you're, you know, a female Muslim hijabi, like you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're, you know, making content, even though actually I'm making content to actually help the younger community and actually females into STEM, because obviously we have a lack of that, especially in the West, of female going into technology. So sort of like I'm kind of there as like, you know, a help and an advisor as well. So when you get those comments, honestly, like I just don't read them. That's like the easiest way to deal with them, honestly, because it's just like, okay, let's say if the person had any constructive criticism, there would be
That's different,
it would be different, and they would like approach it in a more formal way. Let's say maybe not under a comments of a post, but they would sort of like message you privately, and they would say, for example, like, oh sister, like I feel like what you said here and there is not correct, you know, and they would give their own opinion in a very polite and very respectful way instead of leaving comments. So I definitely feel like it is very hard, especially for Shias on social media. I see multiple Shia content creators and, well, influencers. They do get a lot of Shia hate comment, especially like, for example, when they wear the dhul-fiqar or when they make a video of them praying on a turba, which is unfortunately, it is very, very unfortunate, but it's just something that we have to deal with and something we've always had to deal with as a Shia community.
Did you deal with Shia phobia in uni?
Myself, not in uni, no, alhamdulillah. I think I immersed myself so much in Absork and staying within that circle.
That halo.
No, I was protected. Alhamdulillah. No, I didn't. But I obviously recently with the even launching this podcast, our Instagram, everything, like it's normal.
Do you know, I think once you got out of uni, that's where they started
Exactly.
attacking her.
It's once you're out of it, and this
for
even
sure.
with this podcast, like alhamdulillah, we have a big platform that we're showing our beliefs and who we are and trying to be secure. Like I really like how you mentioned being secure in your identity. Of course you're going to deal with comments, and not everyone's going to be happy that you're secure in who you are and your identity. But it's more about just, you know, ignoring it, dealing with it. It's security at the end of the day.
Just another thing to add as well is that, for example, especially for the female audience out there, they may feel like, you know, deterred from, let's say, if they want to post, if they want to speak out, because they'll get Shia hate. When instead you actually just have to be like confident in yourself, and, you know, like just ignore the hate.
I find it so funny because I've been through Shia phobia. So someone said to me, said this in a group actually, I think she was trying to be funny. She was like, oh, how do you know she's Shia? And she was like, oh, she's probably got chipped shoulders because we do the whole you know, the to me. So I was like, oh, okay. But then do you know what the funny thing is, another person who was Sunni as well came out. I didn't have to say anything. They were just like, do you think that's funny? Do you think that's funny? Like, don't make comments like that again. It's not funny.
That is
and
really
then that was
insensitive.
it. That was really it. And then, like, because I was really caught off guard. But anyways, like, stuff like that happens. And also, one thing I found really funny is people trying to convert me to being a Sunni.
Oh, I've also had that at university. Yeah, I've had that, you know, especially sometimes, you know, Abstract events, you actually get Sunnis, which obviously they're more than welcome to. I actually had recently hosted a discussion circle, and it was about like a hadith and everything. And it was really interesting to hear the Sunni sisters' perspective and everything. But like it was very respectful, it was very calm, you know. But I think at some point it did get a bit heated as well. So it's just about knowing how to navigate around those discussions, and, you know, how to like express yourself very, you know, eloquently, you know, be again so like confidence is such a big thing, like being confident in your religion, being confident in your beliefs, in your values, like you know, like you mentioned, people try to convert you. Like I had that as well, where they, you know, they were giving out points and they were like, okay, like,
but they can't finish their point.
They try to make sense, and I feel like I felt pressure for a second, and I'm like, hold on, wait, why am I feeling pressure? Like I'm already alhamdulillah so secure in my Shiism that, you know, and I kind of like, I didn't really argue with them, but I kind of told them like, this is what we believe in, and this is why we believe in this. And if they want to make comments, they're welcome to make comments. You know, it's their opinion at the end of the day. They're more than welcome to express their own opinion. It's just how I deal with it as a person, and sort of, you know.
And inshallah, to the girls that are watching, it inspires them that, you know, whether you're in uni, work, whatever age you are, that it's unfortunate, of course, that you are maybe worried or like having to deal with this, but inshallah it inspires them that there are girls out there like yourself, putting yourself out on a platform and being proud of your identity. Alhamdulillah.
I hope so.
Yeah, but you know, with like, I'd say with Shiaphobia, people are always going to be Shiaphobic, you know, but I think in order, like you said, to kind of respond, first of all, we're not really taught to respond. When they say you should learn your religion, it's not to, you should never learn the religion to go and debate people.
100%.
That's the wrong reason to learn your religion. You learn your religion for yourself and for your confidence. And once you do that, you don't need to go out and prove people right or wrong. If people come to you, people have come to me to convert me. Like even a Christian. Like I used to have a Christian friend in like year 9 or year 10. She came up to me. She was like, "Oh, this man said so and so about Prophet Muhammad and Jesus. Are you going to convert now?" I was like, no, no. And then at that point, I wasn't so religious. But the more I started reading, the more confident I became. And not to go out and defend my rights or defend Shiism. I would never do that. I would never learn the religion to go and argue with someone. I don't really care about your point of view. You do you. You believe in that. You're more than welcome. It's a free world, like, but you do not get to dictate what I believe in. If I want to believe in, I'm not harming you. This is my own belief system. This is my own theology. Leave me be. And sometimes, like you said, they would get heated because they can't get through to you. It is what it is. And also, there's another form of like subtle Shiaphobia that I really like want to talk about, that I saw. I didn't see it with my own eyes, but I would always go into, like, we had the prayer room in City. There was always, like, I don't know, people kicking the turab or the turba or throwing them away, or that in itself is like Shiaphobia, I think. And people don't really talk about it, and they know what it is, and they know what they're doing. So it's not like this random rock which looks perfect, which looks very, like, I don't know, perfect. It's there for a reason. Leave it be. And the more we talk about it, the less likely that they're going to do stuff like that. And back in my days, my uni days, I couldn't find the Torah. So, and I would really get judged if I went to a prayer room and they would like watch me. Oh yeah, she's picked up the Torah. Now she's going to pray with her arms by her side. What else? What next? What's she going to do?
I think, alhamdulillah, like my uni is very inclusive. That's the word. So it is very inclusive of all religions and all sects as well. But one thing as well is I feel like once I started the Ahlul Bayt Society, is, for example, we would put posters up in the sisters room, and every time I would go there, someone sort of ripped it or someone's like taken it apart, and I was like, I didn't give up. I was like, I'm gonna keep putting this out there. I said, this is not for them. This is for, you know, whatever heart is inspired by, you know, this society and by this discussion. And you know, like our second year, alhamdulillah, like we haven't had any posters taken down. And our recent discussion circle, we actually had a Christian sister, and we actually took her with us to the prayer room, and you know, we taught her, well, she knew how to pray but she didn't know the words, so a sister stood beside her and sort of like was saying the words together. And honestly, like, it's just so beautiful, because like pure hearts, or any hearts can really be inspired by the Ahlul Bayt. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter, you know, like you see in Arba'een, like, you know, priests go to Arba'een, they join the pilgrimage, like from various, like, sects and religions.
I think just even rounding the Shia phobia like topic, even if you face it, it's like your niyyah at the end of the day. You're praying in the prayer room for the niyyah of your Muslim obligations. You putting on these Ahlul Bayt events, that you know your niyyah at the end of the day. And I think for all the girls that are listening that are worried about this and are obviously the minority in their uni, just remember your niyyah, I think, is the most beautiful part about this all. I think another theme, by the way, that was mentioned was being surrounded by haram. And I think it's a very obvious thing that a lot of girls definitely struggle with is, you know, my friends are doing that, or I'm going to this and they want to do this, but I don't want to do that. And then they fall into this pressure. So for the people that kind of responded with, okay, I'm surrounded by haram, What do I do? How do I go about that? Is there anything specifically that you would give advice on?
I mean, alhamdulillah, in uni, I didn't have that kind of pressure. I think it was just because even when I was alone, I would see people kind of, going to parties and stuff like that. But alhamdulillah, I was never driven to that anyways, because I held my values like really close to me. But I definitely, growing up, like coming from an all Islamic school, going into college, in college, like, for example, the only way to make friends was, for example, to like, I don't know, they would go to the park, or they would like listen to music together and stuff like that. And so I didn't like that, and I didn't obviously not do that. So you kind of do feel segregated. So in terms of uni, with that kind of culture, I think it's hard. It's a difficult topic because it's like you don't want to advise, especially like young women, to be alone and to have no friends. But also you've got to think like, what is more important, having friends and being led astray, or having your values close to your heart, and being who you are at the end of the day. Is like, why are you getting influenced by other people and ignoring who you are? That's injustice to yourself. So accept who you are and pray to Allah as well. Like, this might sound so silly, but actually in the first year and a half when I had no friends, I was literally praying to Allah. I was like, please, I just want Muslim friends. I want hijabi friends. I just want friends, in university. I had friends, alhamdulillah, outside of university, but inside university is a bit different. I went to, a uni that none of my other friends went to. So that was difficult in itself. And alhamdulillah, in the second year as well, I had like 10 hijabi friends, which was really, like, I was really blessed with that. So sort of, I feel like that's the kind of like small tips that you can navigate around that, but it's just about seeing what's more important for you.
Do you know what it is? I don't know, because I didn't struggle with that, and I did move out for uni for like the first year. I could have easily, but to be honest, well, now that I think about it, I could have easily gone down that path of being surrounded by haram. But again, do your research. Sistani says you are not allowed to sit at a table where there's serving alcohol. So that in itself is a boundary. So don't do it. Once you do that, you're not going to end up in those places by accident, And also, when I was doing my ambassador job, one of our roles was to go to different people within the university. I don't know what it was, I can't remember, but we were going to get people's names and emails and everything for something that we were doing. I was with another lady. She was Muslim, Sunni and jilbab, and she was really religious. And at that point, I was just finding the religion, right? It was in my first year. And in our uni, believe it or not, we had a bar. Like, we had a bar
I think a lot of unis have bars.
I found them
like bars and common rooms and stuff.
Yeah, so it was like a bar, like there was snooker, there was a lot of like things that you would do, like whatever. Yeah, so, and for me, I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, let's go in. I didn't really think about it, and I didn't even know what it was. So I said, let's go in and ask people in here.
Yeah.
And she said to me, no, I don't want to go in there. I said, why? And she was like, I don't feel comfortable. There's alcohol in there. And that was it. And that was literally it. And after I heard that, those words entrenched in my mind.
Yeah.
It stayed with me. And I said that it was so easy for her to say, no, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
Khalas. And that's it. And I said, oh, okay, I see. And we went a different place. But those words stayed with me, and I think about it to this day, and I think it helped me a lot.
Yeah.
I just kept saying, like, no, I don't want to go in there. Oh, no, I don't feel comfortable. And I have Christian friends, and I have like non-Muslim friends, and they do drink in their own time or whatever, because it's not against their religion or whatever. But I say to them, Erily, or whoever it is that I'm with, I don't drink. And I don't feel comfortable if you were to order a drink to our table.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
And I set my boundaries like with them, and I told them like, no, I don't feel comfortable. And they never ever, I've never had a problem with my friends ordering like haram. And we always go to like a halal place because of me.
Yeah.
And So yeah, I think just saying no or finding the right people, or I don't know,
Just
I feel
standing by
like,
your
yeah,
values,
I feel like
you
the
said.
biggest thing, Senti, like you put it like perfectly. But the biggest thing is literally like how I said in the beginning, like setting boundaries, like being a shy, quiet kid. Like I didn't even want to say no, I don't want to do that, you know, just because I wanted friends. But then I had to really choose, like think about what was really important. So that like setting boundaries and saying no, I don't do this, I don't do that, actually makes people respect you more.
Yeah.
People respect you more because they're like, look, she's confident in her values, she knows what she's talking about, maybe I should be like that. People get inspired and people are like, let me set boundaries that don't align with my values. And you might end up with more friends than losing friends, actually.
better quality.
Or unfortunately it might be the opposite, but it's not a loss if it's the opposite, because if
100%.
friends don't respect your boundaries, then do you really want those type of friends around?
Yeah.
That's something really to think about.
And inshallah, the girls that are struggling with this kind of topic really do feel inspired, inshallah, by your beautiful
Inshallah.
words, that just remember who you are, stick to your values, and
sure.
that is the way to go. And I think another thing was just mental health in general. I think a lot of these topics have like sub emotions. A lot of it's like anxiety, depression. Okay, I do feel lonely though. I get anxiety saying no to someone. Like some people just physically can't because they don't have that strength. So what has been your like experience maybe dealing with any kind of mental health, any struggles that you faced throughout uni?
So definitely throughout uni, I faced a lot of struggles. Obviously, like I mentioned before, I actually had anxiety going into uni because it was such a big place, and pretty sure like everyone, especially with women and female hijabis, because we are a minority, it is more difficult for us actually because we're visibly Muslim, you know. And I actually had a lot of anxiety going into uni, and I kept on doubting myself. Do I really fit in? Should I really be in this place, you know? And actually growing up, I was always like, teachers always assumed that I had dyslexia. So it's a type of neurodiverse educational difficulty. And it was stigma at that time. So I wasn't fully diagnosed until university. And alhamdulillah, like the university did provide me an opportunity to get diagnosed. And I'm forever grateful for that, because seeking help may seem like a weakness when in fact it's actually the strongest thing you can do. You know, by me seeking help, I managed to get extra time in my exams. I managed to get help to study better. My grades actually went up by like 50%. Like they went up so well, just because I learned how to study the way it suited me, you know? It's like there isn't one size fits all. Like everyone is unique, everyone's different. And I know nowadays everyone wants to be the same because everyone wants to fit in, but there is also beauty in uniqueness as well, you know, like having a unique name, having, you know, a unique face. Like I find that really, really beautiful. So that was definitely something I struggled with. I feel like for mental health, yeah, that was the biggest tip I can give, is seek help. You are not weak if you do choose to seek help, you know.
Definitely.
That's a sense of strength, you know, and confidence as well.
Beautiful. Honestly, we've spoken about so much, and inshallah the girls that are listening, that are in uni or work, whatever it may be, inshallah feel inspired. We do have to wrap up, unfortunately. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, but
Thank you.
before, I just want you to answer one question. Is there any advice that you would give to any girls that are in uni? Just one thing that you would say to them, what would that be?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing I've touched on so many times throughout this entire episode would literally be, don't be afraid to be yourself. There is a strength in uniqueness, and being unique is really beautiful. And don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, and yeah, really reach for the stars and your goals.
Beautiful. I think that's a perfect way to end this episode. honestly, thank you so much, Duha, for joining us today. I think she
you.
dropped some gems this episode, and inshallah, the girls will benefit a lot from what you've given us today, inshallah. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And thank you girls so much for tuning in once again. Inshallah, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please do subscribe to our Instagram, Hold My Heart Pod. And Duha, is there any handle that you want to give the girls?
Yeah, so it's at Duha UK across Instagram and TikTok as well.
Okay girls, you heard it. Go follow her, support her, and inshallah we can support each other in this journey. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and we hope to see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.